Hey guys, so first of all I apologise for a huge lack of videos recently. I'm sort of slowing down with YouTube, I guess, because I've got a lot of stuff on. I've got a lot of cosplay stuff to make. I've got starting back up at work as I've been off for 8 weeks, and just sort of, not that I'm not interested, it's just sort of slowing down a bit. Obviously I'm going to keep updated, especially with conventions, comic cons and cosplays, and any really good pop hauls. I do like doing pop hauls and filming them, but I'm not going to do as often, say, just individual pops to show off unless they're really exciting ones. As you can see, I've got a new one here, but this is more for a rant because why not? I don't think I've done a good old rant in a little bit, but recently, I would say about 2 weeks ago now, I can't remember the exact date, I went and purchased something for one of my cosplays. It's car lacquer. It's a clear spray that'll go on and protect it, essentially, like a clear coat, for my helmet. And I bought that just to protect it, so it's waterproof, it doesn't wear down, and the fabric that I've covered it won't lift up. So I bought that, and it said it was going to be sent by the parcel courier Hermes. That's fine. I'm not a big fan of Hermes to start with, but that's fine. So they said it would be delivered between the 3rd and the 6th of March. It's fine. I was out on the 5th of March, I believe it was. No, the 4th of March, I was out at an event. And that's it. It got to the 9th of March. Still nothing. Couldn't find it. Well, there was nothing there. I never had any delivery. So I emailed the seller that I bought the item from, and they said, I asked them if they had a tracking number, if possible, because I know sometimes some sellers won't give you the tracking number, just so they can keep a track of it themselves, and if there's any issues then they can pull it up, which is fair enough. I've done it a few times. So I requested the tracking number, and they sent it over. They went, yep, it's been sent by my Hermes, it says it's been delivered, have you received it? Told them I hadn't received it, I've not got anything. So I checked on the tracking, yep, it says it was delivered on the 4th, when I had this event, at 5 PM, so I was out, there was nobody else in the house, and been posted through the letterbox. And I was a bit confused because me and Hijinks came home, and there was nothing, because we usually check, we always want to check if there's mail, because we know there's multiple couriers that come out to our house, with special pops and things like that, and they've all got record of our, or we hope, they've all got record of our safe spot, which is just by the front door. I'm not going to say where. So most of them have record of where the safe spot is, or alternative locations for the safe spot, as it sometimes changes. So usually leave a little card that says where the item's been left, say with a neighbour if it needs to be signed for, or in the safe spot, or anything like that, or if it's been taken back and then request for redelivery, which is fine. I've had to do that a couple of times, especially with large parcels. They have to get redelivered, or they've been sent to a different location to go get picked up, which is completely fine with me, I don't mind. But there was nothing. We checked, well, when we came home, we got home about 7 o'clock at night, we didn't see anything, so didn't suspect that there's something being delivered. So I got into the live chat with my Hermes, and was asking one of their representatives if, what happened to the parcel, and said, nope, it's been delivered. So I told them I don't have it, and the item, it's a can. So my assumption would be it will be in a box, or at least in a bubble envelope, and the can size would be a little bit too large to fit in through the letterbox. So even in a bubble envelope, I would have assumed from the size of it, it's a 250 milliliter can, I would have assumed that it would be a bit too big to fit in the letterbox. So I was on live chat with them, so because I have terrible anxiety on the phone. I freeze up on the phone and I start stuttering and saying a lot worse than I do on videos here. So I'm a nightmare on the phone. I try and avoid it as much as possible. So I was on a live chat with them, chatting away to this lovely person. They said that it says on their record it's been delivered. It said it'd been registered, that it was put through the letterbox, and told them that it's not through the letterbox. I went and checked with the neighbour next door, who, she's lovely. She told me that nope, there's no parcel there. If it was, she would have brought it through. We're pretty good with the neighbours with parcels. They'll either check after a day or two to bring it through, and we do the same with them. And we're pretty good at holding parcels for each other if the other one's out, because they've got like kids and go pick up and drop them off, so we're all pretty good that way. So I checked with her, no parcels. Checked the safe spot, nothing. So I was getting a little bit confused, and I was definitely not in the letterbox. I even checked inside the letterbox, nothing. So I told that to the representative on the live chat, and she said that it showed it had been selected through the letterbox and was a bit concerned. So I explained that there's no way it would have fit. It is not there. I would not be on live chat complaining if I had the item. So they didn't chat for a little while, because it says with the My Hermes live chat, it is either they're reading or responding. So it's like reading for ages, like 10 minutes. So they eventually came back and said they were talking with the supervisor about the whole situation, and they'll email me within 24 to 48 hours. They didn't, by the way. Spoilers. That they were going to contact whoever packed into the van, their supervisor, the driver. Each person has a handset assigned to them that has, obviously, if anything is signed and checked off if they've been to the parcel's been delivered. So whoever handset had scanned that, so the person who was delivering it. So huge list of people that they said were going to get asked about where this parcel was within 24 to 48 hours. So I waited 2 days, still nothing, and I emailed the seller who I bought the lacquer from, just to keep them updated, because I told them I hadn't received it. So I updated them and emailed saying that I was in contact with My Hermes and they were going to inquire where it is. I don't actually have the item, as they hadn't actually known I didn't have it. So told them I don't have the item, they say it's delivered, I don't have it. Turns out that My Hermes emailed them instead of me for some reason. So they said that the driver was to be sent out. The driver was to be sent out to my house to show me where he's left it. So I was waiting. I thought I was going to be sent out that day or the day later. Nothing. Had another parcel for My Hermes come over from a different driver, a completely different driver. Nope, still nothing. And then I got an email from My Hermes tonight. I sent him an email instead of going in live chat. So I was really annoyed. I'm like, where is this parcel? It wasn't an expensive item, but it's more the principle of, where is my item? They say it's been delivered, but I've not got it. So I emailed them off asking, where is this parcel? I don't have it. And they emailed me back at 11 o'clock at night. Hermes and My Hermes are two completely different people. My Hermes deals with personal parcels, so person to person, while Hermes deals with retailer to person, which includes eBay. So I'm to contact Hermes, and the person on live chat hadn't told me that. They just told me that they could deal with it, which confused me, because I went through My Hermes with the person online. So I was really confused. So I emailed off Hermes asking where the hell this parcel is, what the hell's happened to it, and basically who is liable for it. It's £3.50, that's all it is. But it's more, where is this parcel gone? Because if I kind of have the assumption that the person who's delivered it, he's a bit of a dick. I don't like him that much. He sort of throws the parcel at you and then runs off back to the van to get away as fast as possible, because we're one of the farthest out to get delivered to, and he doesn't like coming out to us because he comes between like 6 at night and 9 at night, 9 o'clock to deliver. So it's really late, and by the time he gets to Glasgow back to the base, it could be about 10:30 at night. So he hates coming out to us, but so he basically throws it and runs. So I have the assumption that because we weren't in the house, he didn't want to go to the neighbours to then ask them at 5 o'clock in the afternoon for some reason if they can hold the parcel, or put it into the safe spot, which he knows exists. So what I think he's done is attempt to push it through the letterbox, and it's either hung halfway at the letterbox and checked it off, or left it on the doorstep, which I would not put it past my Hermes, as I've seen multiple times online, especially with pop vinyls. My Hermes, has left parcels on doorsteps or chucked over fences, as I've seen a few people put up photos before of pops, just being chucked over fences because they couldn't be bothered putting them with a neighbour or putting in a safe spot. They're just easier to chuck over a fence. So I have the assumption that they've just dumped it on the doorsteps, and somebody, obviously they've seen a free parcel and gone and taken it. So if that's the case, and they've left it on the doorstep or left it halfway in the letterbox because they haven't bothered pushing it through properly, or leaving it in a safe spot, which they are aware of, or with a neighbour, what you'd assume would happen is with a neighbour, but no. So if they have done that, then I will hold them liable and make them pay for a new one. Yeah, obviously they don't know the value of the item. They just know the item, so I'll see if I can get a better item for it. But it's more the principle of, I paid for something, it is not here, they're responsible for it. Just because they got to my door, I was not at my door, so they're still responsible for the item. They have to take care of the item until I physically receive it, not until it gets to my general door area, wherever the general door area is. So I will keep updated with what happens with Hermes with this parcel, because it's really bugging me. I've had multiple problems with my Hermes in the past. Nothing major, but the one thing I really don't like is their tracking system. The tracking system is really flawed, because it doesn't actually track. It tells you it's left to be delivered, but for me, when it gets left to be delivered, that's about 11 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't tell me when it's going to arrive, because it can arrive between like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on how many deliveries, or 9 o'clock at night. I think it should have a delivery system like DPD, which is another courier service in the UK, which on their app has a system that tracks the driver. It tells you what number in their list, because obviously they have a list of deliveries to do. So I'll tell you what number you're on their list. So say you're number 20. They'll tell you what order number they're already on, roughly what time your delivery will take place. So say, imagine between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. They usually give hour slots, and how far away they are. So it could be they're 2 hours away, and you'll get a notification when they're 15 minutes away, so you can obviously make your way home if you're out, which I think is a lot better, so you can actually plan your day a bit better. But yeah, my Hermes, a bunch of fun.